Okay, so the structure of the application is created, the HTML portion is done. Now let's move on to the most interesting part of the application, that is styling using Tailwind CSS. So uh, the first thing that we need is we need to put everything into a container. So let's start with that. How we can do that is very simple in Tailwind. So first we'll set the height and the width of the container. So I'm setting the height to the height of the viewport, that is the full height, and width as the width of the screen. We'll also add some background color so that we know what's happening. Okay, so as you can see, we have the container till here, it ends here, but everything else is overflowing because of the size. We're going to take care of that a little later. Another thing that we want to do is we want to also, as you can see, there's a gray background and then there's a card on top of this gray container. So we're going to create this white colored card. So for that we would need one more div tag. We're going to wrap it, and styling is very simple in Tailwind, as I mentioned. We can give it a background of white, and let's see how it looks. So this entire thing has become white. Okay, let's give some padding to the outside container of 8 pixels. Okay, so this looks better, but I want to make it even better. So I think we can give the left right padding as 16 and top bottom as 8. Yeah, I think that looks better. Also, I think we can give a shadow to this card. That will look really good. So shadow can be given like this. Yeah, now as you can see, we have a shadow along the borders of this card. Cool. Also, if I want to give this a border radius at the border, I can do that easily using something called as a rounded class, maybe rounded MD. This gives a very subtle border to my div. Cool. Uh, let's move on to the header portion of the application. So, okay. So the header will have a grid. The width can be full. We're going to give this a height, a fixed height of 32. So 4 units of these is equal to 1 rem. So 32 is basically 32 divided by 4, which is 8 rems. That is the conversion of H32. Height equal to 8 rem. And this grid will have 2 columns. So grid template columns equal to 2 is can be written like this in Tailwind. Okay, so as you can see now they are at, besides each other. Let's add more styles to this. Span can have a class of let's keep it at the center using flex item center. We can give it a text of 2XL, that is font size, and we'll make this bold. Okay, but it is sticking to the left hand side. We want to move it to the right hand side. So I'll add a padding left of 16 and also margin left of 12 maybe. Okay, this looks better. Now coming to UL. So all these are vertically placed. We're going to put them horizontally. So one way of doing that is using flex. So display flex, item center, justify content center. So the short form is justify center. Okay, cool. So now they are besides each other, but they are not properly styled. So we'll have to add styles to these individual list items. So what we can do is we can style all of them together by clicking the uh, option key on the keyboard. We need a margin on the left and right side. So margin X of 6. Cursor pointer, because when we hover over that list item, it should get converted. The pointer should get converted. Okay, this looks much better. Now the home is the active tab. So what we are going to do is we're going to add a text of orange with a shade of 500 to home. Cool. And contact us, since we want to highlight this portion, we want to add a border to it. So the way we add border is we mention border, then we mention the border color, which is what I want is a shade of gray, dark gray. And let's see how it looks. Yeah, it doesn't look good. We want to add some padding, so I'll add a padding of px of 4 and py, that is top and bottom is 2 maybe. And also I'll add rounded borders. Okay, so this looks cool. Our header is actually complete. Yeah, looks better. Let's move on to the hero portion.